Boy, was that fucking depressing.
It's gonna take all we got.
We're all getting down together, now let's go!
If anyone can make it, you can.
This film is directed by Baltasar Kormakur. He is an Icelandic filmmaker. He directed films such as Contraband and Two Guns. Contraband was pretty average. Two Guns was, in my opinion, really underrated. It was a fantastic film. Some really cool camera work in that film. Everest, however, is his best film, and this is a film that should have come out in the summertime. This is an absolutely awesome movie that talks about nature, man versus nature, and this is an excellent disaster film, unlike the disaster films that came out in the year 1998 or any of Roland Emmerich's films. This film is much better than any of those films. It boasts an all-star cast, including Josh Brolin, Jason Clarke, Jake Gyllenhaal, and John Hawkes. But the real star of the film is the mountain, Mount Everest. It is massive, it is cold, it is a fucking beast, man, and it has a lot of help from its best friend, the friggin' weather. This film was partially shot on location to give it that rawness and the feeling of actually being there on Mount Everest, and they succeeded with giving me that feeling. There are certain moments where the cast is shivering because of the temperature, the negative temperature over there. And there were moments where I thought that I was actually sitting with them in the cold, because it was pretty cold in the theater as well. But in order to gain that feeling for me, the excellent makeup, the awesome aerial cinematography definitely helped with that. This film has some great, friggin' great helicopter shots of the mountain. This is a really inspirational film, but at times it's very depressing too. This film is about man versus nature and the nature of man itself. How we put challenges and roadblocks in front of ourselves to succeed and climb. In the face of sure death, we still pursue our challenges and our dreams, only to know that some mountains were not meant to be climbed. You see what I did there? Which transitions me into the next star, the co-star of this film, Death. There's a lot of death in this movie, and I'm going to talk about death because this has some of the best death scenes I've ever seen, because they choose not to give the death scenes a lot of weight. When you see a death scene in a movie of a pivotal character, it's usually aided by a ton of heavy music, and the emotion is driven through the music. This one, none of that. Death comes in this film like reality, out of nowhere. This is a fantastic film. There's no other way about it. The only gripe I had with this film was the dark cinematography that kind of hindered some of the reaction shots when people were dying left and right. But other than that, it's an awesome film. It's a very well done film, and it focuses more on the people than the actual disaster. That's something you don't see in disaster films or nature films. So I suggest you go see Everest as soon as possible. See it in IMAX because you want that awesome sound experience. The sound effects and the sound design on this film is fantastic. And another thing that'll help, tell the usher to lower the air conditioning so you feel like you are actually up there on Mount Everest. My name is Rameez Khan. I'm a filmmaker and a film critic, and people, remember to love yourselves. I will be back soon.